Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I'm doing a video, and before I preface this I need to preface this video with the fact that I'm not a medical doctor. As far as these supplements, definitely talk to your doctor before you take any of these. I went out on a limb and actually just started taking these. Some of these I've been taking for a while before the virus stuff hit. There's a couple of things I do take that I'm not going to cover in this video because I don't think it's relevant as far as, like, for example, fish oil I take as well, just because of stuff. But I figured I'd focus primarily on this stuff because of the virus stuff that I do take. So I've been taking this for a while, this green superfood. Has all sorts of stuff in it, like wheatgrass and green tea and all this shit. I've been taking that for a few years. It didn't prevent me from getting sick, but it does make me feel good. I don't think it's a bad thing to take. Of course, your mileage may vary with that. I have kind of a shitty diet somewhat, so I do take this because it has all the stuff in it, like broccoli and wheatgrass and all the stuff in it. I'm going to actually save that for last. I take this. I've taken this for every day. It's for depression and anxiety and stuff. I don't take it as much as I used to, but something I've taken every day for years. So that's the years-long stuff out of the way. So I've taken this elderberry for, 6 or 7 months now. I read about it, probably read a study about it, about the virus with regards to it. Not sure what study that was from. It's very vague in my mind. Same with this, but I've heard it's good for immune system support. So, vitamin C, and the vitamin C, of course, is a traditional thing for colds, which are a lot of times caused by Miller viruses, as well as viruses that are corona. Miller virus. I made up the Miller virus thing. Now this one, we're getting to some brass tacks here. This is a very interesting thing. I just read the study yesterday again. Supposedly it takes the virus from the C virus from taking hold in your body to some extent. They studied, like, people are taking this, and it definitely shows some promise. This one's a little more dangerous as far as long-term usage, as far as I know. I don't know. Possibly. So talk to your doctor. But I've been taking this for a while. I just figured that the studies were good enough with this one that it'll help. And actually, they talked about how the spike proteins are affected by this from the virus, which is pretty fucking crazy. So that might mean that, like, to me, I interpret it as that the virus can't even take hold in your body or your cells from some of this. Last, but certainly not least, of course, like I said, I take other stuff other than these 6 supplements. I take 2 or 3 more for other things, like the fish oil, magnesium with zinc, and vitamin D. Now, there's been a lot of stuff coming out about vitamin D, and even the Italian midget maestro of public health himself had come out and said vitamin D is good. There were studies that came out that said 4% of people that died from the virus had high levels and any kind of suitable level of vitamin D, which means 96% of people that died, 96% of people who didn't die from the virus had high levels or acceptable levels of vitamin D. Now, you can interpret that still studies how you want. There's more and more studies coming out every day, it seems like. I would visit John Campbell or MedCram's channel for more stuff about the vitamin D thing. I think he did early on talk about this stuff too. So, to me, it's a matter of, me living my life and, like, doing the things that prevent me from getting this shit in the first place. I'm not going to take a vaccine unless it's been tested for a couple years with people. If they make it mandatory, well, I will challenge that. if they don't make it mandatory, I'll be less likely to take it. But, if I took it, maybe when I turned 45, there's been years of studies, because that's the age cutoff for that. Basically, between 1 and 45, the deaths have not been high enough for me to justify taking the vaccine. So that's my thought. Those are my thoughts on that. So that's about it. Like I said, I take these things to prevent myself from being in the statistical thing. They say obesity is also a factor, which is something that I'm working on as well. I think a lot of obese people have a hard time with vitamin D, and that's part of the reason. Or it could be, cause and effect, correlation, causality could be a little flawed in those things. But like I said, there's more and more studies coming out about the vitamin D thing that shows promise. So I think, I don't think this is going to prevent anything from happening. I mean, at the same time, we got to consider the age brackets I'm below that age bracket of 45 to 90 or 100. That is the more susceptible to this virus, especially above 80. I'm not 80 years old, so I have a pretty fighting chance against the virus. I have a pretty fighting chance against it, but I just think this is good to, I'm just going to try to see, because I don't exactly follow every guideline that is out there. So that's just the way it goes. I don't believe in some of these mandates. Like, I want to hang out with people, and I'm starting to date more again, and I'm probably going to be starting to go to bars, next, I think once this, if this wave dissipates that we're having here in Wisconsin, not that I wouldn't do it now, but I got a lot of other stuff I'm working on, like my apartment and stuff, and, getting shit together. Probably will start going out to bars. I've been to restaurants already. Just want to live my life normally. So I think it's good to be safe. There's part of me that thinks the virus, I'm split on whether or not I should do all this stuff, but I've been taking supplements for years either way. So, I mean, I've been taking supplements, so I've just added, 5 or 6 more. I think it's just the studies that I read, that make me do this. And, this might prevent me from getting the flu as well. So, I think it's just good. It's better to be safe than sorry in some ways, but I don't know. I'm not an authority on this stuff. I'm not a expert or by any means. I'm just kind of experimenting, seeing what happens, since my lifestyle needs to change in general, but in the meantime, I want to make myself as least susceptible as possible, from what's going on out there. Because I don't, another thing is I don't want to have to get tested either, because I don't want to contribute to what's going on with this whole thing, these numbers, these statistics. I don't want to contribute to the idea that we have to think about this all the time and count, if someone I knew got sick or got tested positive, it'd be a different matter maybe, but if everybody's asymptomatic that I'm around and never gets tested and contributes to, and I have questions about this stuff, because maybe I don't know, there might be more to come with these studies. Maybe it prevents it from taking hold in the first place. Maybe you test negative. I don't know. I don't know enough about medical science to say. I don't know shit. So take this with a grain of salt. Take these supplements with water too, not just a grain of salt. And I don't think it's a bad idea to stay safe. This is how I stay safe. This is the only way I'm gonna stay safe, because I'm not gonna fucking submit to their mandates. And I think, by the way, one day I will not submit to the mask mandate. I mean, depends on what you mean by the mask mandate. One day I might rebel against it. go to stores without it. I think by March, if things, I don't know, it's hard to say. You know, I'm thinking about, I'm not an anti-masker. I'll wear it at stores and stuff, like I said. If people want me to wear it, I do. But I try to get away from it as much as possible in my own way. You know, I don't wear it outside because it's not required. If it was required outside, I probably wouldn't wear it anyways. This is to give you. I still think that there's a virus out there. I'm just gonna sit down, and I still think there's a virus out there, and I still think it's dangerous for certain people. But I just want to hedge my bets, I guess, if you want to say that. You know, with these supplements and stuff, and it's difficult to say, like, if this is the right reaction or not, but I'm just kind of I would just rather, for this crisis at least, just like I want to stay away from being the statistic. Like, I had to go to get tested because I have a fever or blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like, or I didn't have loss of taste. I had a loss of taste and smell. And then I have to get tested because of that. Not as simple like I do have allergies, which I'm suffering from right now. And any symptom that I get, I'm not just going to go to the doctor and get tested. It's going to have to be like, I have a fever, blah, blah, blah. You know, I feel like shit for 4 days, whatever. I'll probably get a thermometer as well, just in case, but I'm not just going to go to the doctor and get tested. I'm trying to resist getting tested. That's another thing about these supplements. It's like, if I resist getting sick like for the next year or so, I won't have to contribute to this fucking ridiculousness, because I found a lot of the way this has been handled to be ridiculous. So I don't want to get sick at all. It's not that I'm scared of dying. I'm just scared of actually getting sick and like having to go get tested. That's my main thing. Like, I don't want to fall into that. The fear trap, the pendulum, the authoritarian fucking like national security, biosecurity state, surveillance state. That's what James Corbett called it. Do I believe it's a reality? No, not yet, but I want to resist. So that's kind of like, it's me hedging my bets for health reasons and for just the fact that I don't want to partake in this. And that's kind of a way of doing that, is by resisting getting the virus in the first place, or resisting getting a bad version where I'd have to go get tested, or possibly with some of these supplements, like they've done studies where there's been some anecdotal evidence that it doesn't even take hold in you, like with this, supposedly with this stuff. It may not even take a hold in your body in the first place. I'm not saying you'll test negative. I don't know. You know, I don't know enough about medical science to say. We'll have to do some more studies and some more research. It's just the studies that I've done. So if I hold off on that as much as possible on getting tested and having to fucking do that, I'm pretty good, you know. I remember in 2010, 2009, 2010, when I got fired from my last job, or not my last job, my second to last job. I got fired and I was on unemployment and I was at home a lot. And I don't even think I got sick for like 2 years after that with a flu or any kind of cold. And it was because I wasn't around a lot of people. Of course, I'd go out and hang out with friends and hang out with family and stuff, and you know, eventually date, actually. And then my job that I got was, you know, we were in this enclosed space, somewhat in a cubicle. It was really like the last couple of years when they did the open office environment when I got sick the most, including last year or early this year, where I'm just like, this might have been the virus. So stay safe, stay free, and stay sane. Don't stay safe, don't stay dangerous, but don't stay safe. That's all.